talk about Briarpatch, which finished up last night. Maybe season one, maybe just the end of the series in general. Um, we talked about the premiere of Briarpatch. I mean, I think there were a lot of really intriguing pieces to this. I think we liked the stacked cast. We thought Rosario Dawson as the lead seemed very intriguing, and the mystery and kind of like uh, zaniness of it. You know, like these animals who escaped from the zoo, kind of walking around. Just the strangeness of this town in general felt intriguing. Did you feel like this season of Briarpatch, I'm going to say this season because I think we can talk at the end if there should be another season or not. Do you think this delivered for you?
I didn't really invest in the story, to be honest. What the things I liked though, it did give me, like, I really liked the performances from the whole cast, and I thought it was really well made. Like, there was awesome lighting, like there's like moments of neon lighting, and there's awesome way to shoot. There's that quick bowling alley oneer, and I think episode 9 was just really great with all the stuff in the desert, and
Yep.
Timothy Simon's cameo. And in general, the performances, I think, really anchor it. But like the overall mystery and like what's going on, I was having a hard time staying focused on that throughout the middle of the season. Once it started to wrap up, though, I really liked it. I guess episodes 7, 8 onward, like once things became more clear. But like the the hard boiled nature of like the figuring shit out and like the sleuthing and all the different characters. I didn't really care about the narrative. What about you?
Yeah, I think this is partly I lost interest a little bit in terms of like the mystery and the mechanics of it, but it did also feel a little convoluted. Like even the last couple episodes, once it all started to come together, I thought, okay, this is really interesting. I feel like we're getting some really solid payoffs here. I still was like, man, so this person was doing this for this, and I guess what it really boils down to is what is it? Eve? Is that Eve, the
yes
chief? She really was at the heart of all this, wanting to become mayor and using
Kim
those
Dickens.
people
She
as
was
pawns,
awesome.
getting Jake in on the plot with her, and Felicity was a casualty in all of this to gain power. And it really comes down to like the themes of like greed and how power corrupts. And I actually thought I love Simon's cameo, but he was just he almost felt like too on the nose as like that voice who's like, you sometimes have to like get your hands dirty to do things, but sometimes you also have to just like walk away from it and step outside of it. And I was like, oh, okay, so we obviously know where Rosario Dawson's going to go and which way Jake is going to go with this, right? And it felt pretty clear, but still, like you said, I think there's some visual moments that really stand out. I think some of the writing and the dialogue in this was really believable, but also engaging. In the moment I probably will come back to more than any others in the final episode, Kim Dickens and Rosario Dawson sitting across from each other with what was his name, Brittle or Brattle in the middle.
And Alan Cumming. Yep.
Yeah, and the spinning camera going around, and I just thought that was just like a great TV moment. So a lot of stuff to like. I think just the overall pacing and convolutedness sometimes I didn't jive with.
Yeah, I think maybe if we lost a few episodes and trimmed it a little bit, the forward momentum of the narrative would have been more had a stronger presence, I think, because sometimes it felt like we were just kind of bogged down in things, and not necessarily that we were being bogged down in anything that was that wrong. Again, like the settings are great, the characters are fun, but just a little muddled at times. But yeah, man, some of like the bit players, man, you had such awesome like casting choices. Like you have like Ed Asner and David Pointer, like those media people, and then John Alward, who was the reporter guy, the old reporter. Like just so many memorable faces,
What was his name? Giggles or Chuckles? That's
yeah. And then heck, even like like they made up a beer and a soda for this. Like I love that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
a lot of fun. And I guess seeing real giraffes on TV. Yeah, why not? I'm with it. Um, I think
Eh,
my favorite. Do you have like a favorite line? One thing was stopped me in episode 9 when uh Jake and Allegra are digging their grave in the desert, and then Brattle's like goon is like talking to them, and he's calling Jake soft, and Jake just whips around and he's like, "Boy, you're wearing a fanny pack," and I was like, "That's so good."
yeah. Um, no, I think the only line that really sticks out a lot to me is when the senator and he's Cyrus is like, Senator, you know what they mean about taking care of Allegra, right? He's like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna be president. Like I was like, oh, that you know what? I can't imagine how many senators and how many like real politicians have said shit like that, and it
Yep.
just felt like so like in line to me. Yeah. How did you feel about Rosario throughout this?
I thought she was great, dude.
Yeah.
I really like her. She's always just kind of a strong presence, but as we talked about in the premiere, she hasn't had like these like dynamite starring roles all that often. So I think this was really fun to see just as a fan of her talent, you know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
J.R. Ferguson, who played Jake, I thought was the perfect foil to play against her,
Mm-hmm.
and to kind of see them and their emotional state kind of rise and fall opposite each other. You know, Jake kind of starts off as this like smiley, life is good, I'm rich, like no care in the world type person at the beginning. And Rosario's obviously got this heavy weight, lost her sister, traumatic past, been in jail, back in her hometown, which she didn't want to be. And to see where they end up at the end, where you know Jay Ferguson is sitting alone in his house of greed as the cops come, and Rosario is driving away carefree, throwing the cigarettes outside the car with really nothing ahead of her for the first time. Just felt like such a poetic ending, really well set against each other. I just thought they were a great two people to cast for this, and both delivered. And J.R. Ferguson, I mean, he's kind of one of the an actor that's that guy in a way. Like you've seen him in a lot of things, but never really like the leading role, always a supporting role. I think about him a lot from Mad Men and how he's in that, and nice to see him kind of get bigger shine in one of these shows. So maybe it'll propel him forward a bit more. Any last thoughts as we wrap up
Uh,
Briarpatch?
I mean, I was just thinking it's like with Mr. Robot done and Briarpatch as of right now, a 1 season show. I mean, I don't know if it wasn't like a huge ratings hit, so I'm not sure about a season 2, considering the first season was a strict adaptation of the Ross Thomas novel anyway. I wonder when's the next time I'm going to watch something on USA, you know?
Hmm.
Just thinking about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I don't really have anything else in the stable that I watch, so.
Any chance at a season 2? You think?
I don't know. I'm gonna say it probably doesn't happen.
Yeah, I would be surprised. You know, especially seems like you'd have to have Rosario to do anything with this moving forward. I don't get the sense that she wants to make a season 2, especially as she becomes a Jedi now. So
Yeah, exactly.
getting that Star Wars bag.
I mean, it just looks like it's kind of an expensive show. You know, it's on location in Albuquerque, and I know Albuquerque has a lot of tax credits and infrastructure for making TV. Obviously, like at the Gilligan universe, but um, considering it wasn't like a huge hit, like probably not going to season 2. I don't know. Tough to say, I guess. So we're also in a weird time. I don't know how renewals are going to be handled right now.
No one knows, dude, and that's the thing. Quibi dropped last week. I've only heard bad things about that, so not going to start my 90-day free trial yet.